What's up, everyone? In this video, we're going to check out Tuesday's games. It's the final day of the NBA Cup in the brackets. I did check out some of the scenarios. We'll see which teams are eliminated, which teams have chances. It is a little bit difficult to understand because there's a bunch of wild scenarios, but I'll do my best, guys. Even though I think overall, I think it's still very important just to focus on the team's recent trends, injuries, numbers, all the good stuff that we take into consideration when we handicap our games. So let's just check out these days action, guys. 11 games. See if we can come up with some good plays. Let's go. All right, first game we got the Bucks in Detroit taking on the Pistons. The Bucks are 3.5-point road favorites, 223 the total. Both teams 3-0 in group play, so the winner clinches the group. The loser, from what I look at the scenarios, if Milwaukee loses the game, they need to lose by no more than 6 points. If they want to have a chance to win a tiebreaker, Detroit needs to lose by no more than 5. So this needs to be a close game. In general, it'll suit both teams. Whoever loses, at least keep it in range. The reason I think for this low line. Now the Bucks, guys, recent form, they have won 6 straight. They picked things up after their very slow start. They're 10-9 on the year, 6-game winning streak, coming off a 10-point win against the Wizards. Looked a little shaky in that game, but they did get the job done. Giannis, he played after missing out the game in the previous game against the Heat, another win. So he's back in the lineup. He's listed as probable. Didn't practice, though. From what I read, he didn't practice. The Pistons, they're coming off a bad loss to the Sixers at home, 15 points. It was a second night of back-to-back, tough spot. They were coming off a 24-point road win against the Pacers. They looked great in that one, guys, but came out really flat against the Sixers. Cade Cunningham sat that one out. He's been very important for the Pistons this year, guys. The good news is he's listed as probable. He's not on the injury report. I think he's going to be playing in this game. Now, in this game, I'm going to go with the home dog here, guys. I'm going to take the plus 3.5. Since I think it's going to be a close game, it's better to have the points in your back pocket. Plus, the Bucks, guys, just 2-6 on the road. Haven't really proven yet that they can win away from Milwaukee. Until they start racking up wins on the road, I think we got to keep betting against them. So over here, guys, Pistons plus 3.5 is going to be my play here. All right, next game, Washington in Cleveland taking on the Cavs. Cavs 16-point home favorites, 236 the total. Both these teams, guys, eliminated from the NBA Cup. And Cleveland, despite having the best record in the league at 18-3, two out of the 3 losses came in the NBA Cup, and I think both those were to the Atlanta Hawks. So they got eliminated, guys. Pretty strange. The best record in the league and eliminated from the NBA Cup. Anyways, that is what it is. That's the way the rules are. And now looking at this game, Washington, guys, not much to talk about here. The Wizards just 2 wins on the year, getting blasted left and right. I'm not going to take a play on the side bet here. I'm looking at a play on the total. It's at 236. The number is pretty high if you take in consideration Washington's low scoring output this year. They're only putting up 108 points a game. Cleveland has been scoring 122. They've been doing their part. Taking a look at the head-to-head matchup, these teams already played once this year. I think it was the third day of the regular season. So it was on October the 26th. And Cleveland won that game 135-116. So they put up 251 points. I'm going to go over here, guys. I'm going to go over the total here, the 236 points. This is going to be my play in this game. All right, up next, we got the Sixers in Charlotte taking on the Hornets. No interest here as far as the NBA Cup goes since both teams have been eliminated. Now, looking at recent form, the Sixers, they've won 2 out of their last 5. They are coming off a pretty nice win, guys, a 50-point win on the road against the Pistons, 111-96. They caught the Pistons on the second night of back-to-back. They had the more energy. They played well, got the job done. It was a wire-to-wire win for Philly. Paul George came back in that game, got a few minutes under his belt. Tyrese Maxey had a big game. Philly overall played pretty well. Still struggling, guys, overall in the standings. They're just 4-14, still second to last in the East. The Charlotte Hornets, they're 6-14 on the year on a 6-game losing streak. Despite being on a 6-game losing streak, though, they've been very competitive, guys. Overall, if you look at some of their last games, just a 4-point loss to the Heat, a 1-point loss to the Knicks, and the last one, a 3-point loss to the Atlanta Hawks. So Charlotte might be losing, but they're keeping the games pretty close. LaMelo Ball, he's missed out on the last couple. with a strained calf. He's not going to be back for about another week and a half. So that's like 30 points a game right there, guys. Charlotte struggling to put the ball in the basket. The reason they've been competitive is because they've been holding the opposition pretty nicely on defense. The reason, guys, if you look at the total, it's at a low 209 points. Now in this ball game, guys, I'm actually going to take a play here on the Sixers with the -4.5. I like what I saw in the last game and even in the previous one against Houston. They dropped that game in OT, showed some pretty good stuff there. It looks like we might finally get that move, guys, from the Sixers. Start racking up some W's. I'm going to take a shot here with the -4.5. All right, up next, we got the Orlando Magic in New York taking on the Knicks. Both teams 3-0 in the group play. The winner obviously clinches the group. The loser, from what I see here, is the Orlando Magic. They got a huge point differential, plus minus. They need to lose by something like 37 points or something for them to be in danger in the tiebreaker. New York, I didn't see the numbers on them, but they also have a pretty big point differential. Looking at the team's recent form, both teams have been playing pretty well. The Orlando Magic on a 6-game winning streak, 15-7 on the year. Playing very good basketball, guys. They're coming off a nice win on the road against the Brooklyn Nets. Actually won 2 games in a row against Brooklyn. The winning streak looks impressive, guys, but if you look at the teams that they've played against, no real powerhouses the last 5. They did beat the Pistons by 11, Charlotte, Chicago, and Brooklyn twice. So they are getting wins, guys. They're racking up W's, but they haven't really played against the best competition. New York Knicks have won 3 out of their last 5. They've coming off a couple of straight wins against Charlotte Hornets, a tough one. That was a 1-point win, last game of a long road trip. And the first game back, they blew out the Pelicans 118-85. So the last 2 games, they haven't really played against anybody serious either. The road trip was tough, and they did play well in spurts, a little inconsistent at times, but at home, the Knicks are a lot better. In this game, guys, I'm going to take a shot here with New York. I'm going to take a shot here with the New York Knicks and the -5. I think Orlando, guys, like I said, the recent winning streak is impressive, but they haven't really played against any great teams. I'm going to take the Knicks here, guys, at home to win and cover the spread. All right, next game, got the Pacers in Toronto taking on the Raptors. The Pacers are 2-point road favorites, 238.5 the total. Both teams eliminated from the NBA Cup, 0-3 in group play. So this is a meaningless game as far as the NBA Cup goes, but it does count for the regular season. Taking a look at the recent form, the Pacers, they got 3 wins in their last 5, but they're in a 2-game losing streak. Big blowout loss, guys, against the Pistons at home, 130-106, and in their last one against the Grizzlies, they got up some by like 17 points in the first quarter. Were hitting shots from all over the place. And then from the second quarter on, guys, they just completely fell apart. Ended up losing by 15 at the end, giving up 136 points to the Grizzlies. In those 2 losses, guys, give up 130 points to Detroit, 136 to Memphis. That will not get the job done. Indiana, overall, I would say they're underachieving this year, guys. They are 9-12, currently sitting in 8th. Expect a little bit something better out of them. They are still in contention. They're not far away from the top spots, but so far 3 games below 500. The Raptors, they're 6-15 on the year. They're very bad on the road, guys. 1-11, but at home, more than respectable at 6-4. And they're coming off a very nice win against the Miami Heat, 119-116. 3-point win. They actually won the game a lot more comfortably than that final score indicates. Miami hit a few buckets at the end, made the score look a little more respectable. It was pretty much a wire-to-wire win for the Toronto Raptors. In this spot, guys, I'm going to take the Raptors here. I'm going to take them with the +2. They're very good at home. Indiana, the last 2 games, has not looked good. I'm going to take the Raptors here as a home dog with the +2. It's probably one of my favorite plays of the night. All right, up next, we got the Utah Jazz in OKC taking on the Thunder. The Thunder are 14.5-point home favorites, 224 the total. Jazz eliminated from the NBA Cup, 0-3 in group play. The Thunder, they need just a simple win tonight and a San Antonio loss to clinch the group. The Phoenix Suns are playing in Phoenix, so chances are that OKC will most likely clinch the group tonight. Now, looking at recent form, the Utah Jazz, 4-game losing streak. They're coming off a tough loss against the Lakers, guys. They lost by 1. They should have won that game. The head coach made a bad mistake. Colin Sexton was driving to the basket, and just before he gathered and made the layup in the last, I think it was 3 seconds left in the game, he called the timeout, stopped the play, and Utah ended up losing by 1. The Thunder, they coming back from a road trip. They were away for, I think, 5 games. And this is going to be the only game they're going to be playing at home. And they're going to be heading out for another 4-game trip out east. So this is kind of a spot, guys, a tricky spot here for the Thunder. Just enough time for them to do some laundry, gather some stuff, and head out once again. I think they're going to be in Toronto in a couple of days. So this is against the Utah Jazz team. I could see a letdown over here. I don't think the Jazz could beat them straight up, but I think they could stay within the number here. I'm going to take Utah here, guys, with the plus 14.5 for the simple reason, guys, that I think it's a bad scheduling spot for the Thunder. All right, up next we got the Memphis Grizzlies in Dallas taking on the Mavs. The Mavs are 4-point home favorites. 240.5 is the total. This is both teams have chances here. Dallas obviously a lot more than Memphis. If you look at the scenarios, Dallas for them to be eliminated, I think they need to lose by more than 24 points, whereas Memphis needs to win by at least 24 points in regulation. So in other words, if Memphis is to have any chance to advance here, they need to blow out the Mavs by more than 24 points. I think that's pretty much the bottom line here in this game. Now, recent form, both teams have been playing very well. Memphis is on a winning streak. Their winning streak is currently at 6. They're 14-7 on the year, 3rd place in the West. Playing very good basketball, guys. Their last game against the Pacers, we talked about this a little earlier. They got down by 17 in the first quarter, but from the second quarter on, guys, they just flipped the switch and ran the Indiana Pacers out the building. They've been dominant at home, guys, 10-3. On the road, 4-4. Very respectable. The Dallas Mavs, they are also on a winning streak, 4-game winning streak for them, 13-8 on the year, 7-3 at home, playing very good basketball overall. They are coming off a win against the Portland Trailblazers in their last game. Very high scoring affair, 137-131. Kyrie Irving sat out. Klay Thompson sat out in that game as well. Both players, Kyrie for sure is expected to come back. See him listed as probable. Klay Thompson, questionable. There's also a good chance that he comes back as well in this game. Now, my lean here, guys, is on the Grizzlies. I really like the way they've been playing. Ever since they got their core group back, they remind me of the Grizzlies from a couple seasons ago. Dallas, of course, they've been playing great themselves. Both teams pretty evenly matched, and when I see something like this, I like to get the plus points, guys. It's always a good idea here. But my main play here is going to be on the over, guys. I know the number looks huge, 240.5, but just look at some of the scores of the recent games. Memphis 136-121, their last one against the Pacers. Against the Pistons, it was 131-111. Against Portland, 123-98. Against Chicago, 142. They're putting up a ton of points, guys. They're unstoppable pretty much on offense. And Dallas, a lot of their games have been extremely high scoring as well. The last one, 137-131 against Portland. They put up 129 against the Knicks, 129 against Atlanta. So this number, even though at first glance it looks high, the 240.5, both teams are scoring a ton of buckets. So my main play here, guys, over the 240.5. The lean also on Memphis plus the points. All right, next game we got the San Antonio Spurs in Phoenix taking on the Suns. Suns 6-point home favorites, 227 is the total. Over here, guys, we got a lot of interest for both these teams. San Antonio will actually clinch the group if they win straight up. A lot of motivation for San Antonio. Phoenix, it's not as easy for them. I don't really understand the scenario here, but they do need to win, and has something to do with how Oklahoma City does. Things a little more clear-cut for San Antonio, if I'm understanding this correctly. Now, recent form, guys, both these teams, San Antonio has been playing great. They're definitely on an uptrend, 4 wins in their last 5. They're coming off a very impressive road win against the Sacramento Kings, 127 to 125. The Phoenix Suns, just 2 wins in their last 5. A little up and down, guys. They had a big win against the Lakers, 127-100. And the next day, laid an egg against the Brooklyn Nets, lost by 10. Bounced back against the Warriors, 8-point win. Still a lot of injuries, guys. Players in and out of the lineup. From what I see here on the injury report, Bradley Beal looks like he's going to play. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. Yusuf Nurkic is probably going to miss. Not probably, he is going to miss. He's going to be out, it says here, for about a week or so. So Phoenix, guys, in this game, they're probably going with Miles Plumlee again in the starting lineup. He played pretty decent, guys, against the Golden State Warriors. They're going to be going with a lot of small ball, which they usually do anyways. Now, guys, in this game, I'm looking to grab the points here. I'm going to grab the points here with the Spurs. The team is red hot. You don't want to fade a hot team, guys. Even though Phoenix at home is a tough team to bet against, look to grab the points here with San Antonio. Not one of my favorite plays of the night, but if I had to go with the side here, definitely grab the points with the Spurs. All right, next up, we got the Golden State Warriors in Denver taking on the Nuggets. The Nuggets are 5.5-point home favorites. 237.5 is the total. Now, as far as the NBA Cup goes, the Golden State Warriors have already clinched their spot. They clinched the group. They're going to be advancing to the next round. So this is pretty much just a regular season game for them. No pressure at all. The Denver Nuggets, they need a win, and they need a win with a 16-point margin in order to have chances in the tiebreaker. That's pretty much the scenarios as far as the NBA Cup goes. Now, recent form, the Golden State Warriors have been struggling, guys. 4-game losing streak. They have not been playing well. They're still holding on, though, in the standings. They're 12-7 on the year, sitting in 4th place. And on the road, guys, they've been pretty good. 7-4 on the road. Positive road record, one of the best in all of the NBA. The Denver Nuggets, 10-8 on the year. They've won just 2 games in their last 5. They're coming off a 4-point loss to the Clippers on the road. Nuggets, guys, struggling, guys. In 9th place in the West, just 5-4 at home. We've gotten used to seeing the Nuggets the previous years dominate at home. This year, they definitely are vulnerable. Now, guys, in this game, of course, the Nuggets, all the motivation to win. They need a 16-point win. But I like the fact that Golden State will have no pressure in this game. They're going to look at it as a chance to get back to winning ways. I don't know if they could win this game straight up, but I expect it to be very competitive. I can't bet on the Nuggets, guys. The form, their recent form, just 2 wins in their last 5. They're not the team that they were. So I'm going to take a shot here with the Warriors. I know it's not going to be very popular here, but I think Golden State can keep it within the number here. Let's take the Warriors plus the points here. Right, up next, we got the Houston Rockets in Sacramento taking on the Kings. The Rockets 2-point road favorites, 224 the total. It's a meaningless game as far as the NBA Cup goes. The Rockets have already clinched their group. Sacramento Kings already been eliminated. Now, recent form, the Houston Rockets on fire, guys. 4 wins their last 5, 3-game winning streak. Coming off a nice win at home, 119-116 against the OKC Thunder. They're just a half game out of first place, guys, after 21 games. Very impressive, guys, the Houston Rockets. 15-6 on the year. Also 6-3 on the road. Much improved from last year, guys. Remember last year they were dominant at home, very bad on the road. They're playing a lot better this year away from their home arena. Sacramento Kings, on the other hand, going in an opposite direction. The team has struggled out the gates, 9-12 overall. Just 1 win in their last 5. They picked up DeMar DeRozan in the offseason, guys. It hasn't paid dividends quite just yet. Sacramento has been struggling from what I read. Looks like Mike Brown's going to insert Malik Monk into the starting lineup. That's how desperate things have gotten over there. Kevin Huerter got demoted to the bench. He didn't play in the last game. He was injured. From what I read, he is expected to be back. He'll be coming off the bench from now on. Now, in this game, guys, man, it's tough to bet against Houston. I know the team is red hot, on fire, and it's usually not a good idea to bet against a freight train. But I'm going to take a shot here, guys, with Sacramento. I know this isn't going to be very popular, and I don't know if this is going to be enough for me to get to the window and punch the ticket with the Kings. But plus points at home, guys, with a team that I feel is going to be in full desperation mode. I think it's a decent bet. I'm going to take a shot here with Sacramento plus 2. All right, last game of the night, we got the Portland Trailblazers in LA taking on the Clippers. Clippers 8.5-point home favorites, 219 the total. Both teams have chances here, even though the Trailblazers, guys, some crazy miracles are going to have to take place for them to advance. They need a combination of things to take place. They need a win straight up, and they also need help from other teams. They need an OKC loss, and we know OKC's playing against Utah. That is probably not going to happen, and they also need a combination of other things to happen. Dallas losing, Denver losing, so it's pretty much no chance, I think, for Portland. The Clippers They need to win, and they need to win this game by 24 points. If they do that, they have a chance in the tiebreaker against the other second place teams. So this is the scenario as far as the NBA Cup goes. Now, recent form, the Portland Trailblazers, they have won 2 out of their last 5 games. They're coming off a 6-point loss at home to the Dallas Mavs, 131 to 137. So team pretty much downtrending overall in the year. They're just 8-13 on the road, 3-8. I think pretty much playing up to expectation. The LA Clippers, on the other hand, guys, I think have exceeded their expectations so far. They're 13-9 on the year, 4 games above 500, 8-4 at home. They're coming off a very impressive win at home against the Denver Nuggets, 126 to 122. They also got Norm Powell back in that game. He's expected to play again in this game as well. Guys, in this game, I'm going to take the Clippers here. I'm going to lay the points here at the -8.5. I think they're going to go all out, try to get the win by 16 points. I think, did I say it was 16 points? I'm going to take them here with the -8.5 final game of the night. And these are my thoughts and my plays for tonight. Very interesting schedule, guys. Last game of the group phase in the NBA Cup. Went over each game, gave you guys my thoughts and my picks. Out of all these games, guys, the 3 picks that I've separated that I like the most, I like the Toronto Raptors at home against the Pacers with the +2. I also like the total play, the over in the Dallas-Memphis game. I think we're going to have a high-scoring game over there. And I also like the New York Knicks at home against the Orlando Magic with the -5. These are my 3 favorite picks out of the whole schedule. Now, guys, I am recording this video a little earlier than usual. Some stuff could change. We know the injury report usually very active closer towards tip-off, so I will keep an eye out over there. If I need to update anything, I'll do it on my X feed, as you can see down on the ticker, guys, at Pick'emNBABets. If you guys want to give me a follow there. And with that, guys, I'm going to wrap up the video right here. Wish you all good luck on your plays, and I'll check you again tomorrow. Later.